Hi guys, welcome to the Wrestling Retrospective, and in this video I'll be doing my predictions for NXT Vengeance Day. So first up, and the match I think might start the show just to kind of carry a storyline through the night, I think that Ilya Dragunov will defeat Trick Williams to retain the NXT Championship. The reason I think this is going to start the night is so that Trick Williams is pretty worn out going into the tag team, the Dusty Classic final, as I feel like he's going to be the reason why, obviously not to do my prediction later on, but I feel like they're going to lose, and Trick's probably going to have the worst night of his life, or of his career probably, because of, just pure losses all over the place. But yeah, I don't think Ilya Dragunov is quite ready to drop the NXT Championship yet. I feel like they might carry it on until at least Stand and Deliver, and then maybe have him debut on the main roster the night after WrestleMania. Though if anything, last year's to go by, they won't debut anyone after WrestleMania. But yeah, I feel like Dragunov is probably in one of the better positions to be going up to the main roster, like Bron Breakker, like Carmelo Hayes. So for me, I feel like Ilya's going to keep it until Stand and Deliver. I also think it's too early to put the World Championship on Trick Williams. He's got this whole program with Carmelo Hayes going on. I don't feel like it needs the World Championship in it. Therefore, for me, I have Ilya to retain, just because I don't think Trick's quite ready yet, and Ilya is just better off with the championship, in my opinion. After that, we have Dijak taking on Joe Gacy in a no disqualification match. For me, I had Joe Gacy to get the win here. I'm kind of curious about his new gimmick. I'm not very sure what it is precisely, like a lot of people. But if they want to make it something that's taken seriously, not just a joke, I feel like he needs the win here on pay-per-view. I don't know whether he'll set something up for the future. And also, Dijak, as good as he is, and as much as he is proven in NXT, he does lose a fair bit to young, to more upstart people like Joe Gacy, like Eddie. He took a good beating in the Iron Survivor match from Josh Briggs. So I feel like he's more in NXT to put people over and get a win every so often. So yeah, for me, I just feel like it makes more sense to have Joe Gacy get the win because he needs the win more than Dijak. Following that, we have OTM taking on the D'Angelo family in a 6-person tag team match. For me, I have OTM to get the win in this one. Just, we've got the new addition of Jada. We then have kind of the tag team championships on the line, which makes you think that OTM will get the win here to then earn a championship match in the future. Maybe it's Stand and Deliver, maybe just on NXT, I'm not sure. But yeah, it just for me makes the most sense if you're going to have the champions not defend, they will take a pin here to then set up a defense in the future. And yeah, that's kind of really the only reason I have for this one. So yeah, for me, OTM to get the win here. So that we have the final of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, which is Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams taking on Bron Breakker and Baron Corbin. For me, I have Baron Corbin and Bron Breakker getting the win here. Carmelo Hayes is going to betray Trick Williams, I think. Whether it'll be an after the match or during the match thing, I'm not sure. Either way, I think it's going to work out the way people are expecting. And that'll set up a feud between Trick and Carmelo Hayes going into a big weekend at Stand and Deliver. Maybe even main eventing Stand and Deliver as well. But yeah, for me, it just makes the most sense. I'm not actually pleased the fact that no actual tag teams made the final. But then the first ever winners of the Dusty Classic weren't a tag team either. It was Finn Balor and Samoa Joe. So I don't really see the point in the Dusty Classic if a actual tag team isn't going to win it. But still, I think back to times like when Alba Fire and Io Sky won it, and they used their title shot not for the tag titles but for a triple threat match for the World Championship. So maybe something like that will happen again. Though I don't feel like Bron Breakker is going to be on NXT for much longer, as we've seen suggested on SmackDown. So yeah, either way, I think this match is going to concentrate more on Carmelo and Trick than it is Breakker and Corbin, and then they'll just steal a win or come away with a win after a betrayal. But yeah, that just seems to be the easiest way to go with this one, and what seems like the most obvious call to make, in my opinion. Next up we have Obafemi defending the NXT North American Championship against Dragon Lee. For me, I have Obafemi to retain here. I feel that's a pretty straightforward prediction, as I can't see them taking the title off him this early into a run. I know they've kind of done it before, obviously Trick Williams is a former champion and Dragon Lee hasn't had it for particularly that long, but yeah, I can really see Obafemi going on a really dominant run as North American champion. I'm surprised he wasn't in the Royal Rumble because of how kind of much they've been pushing him. And yeah, it's something I very much look forward to. I think he's absolutely fantastic in the ring. And though I know there's not a massive difference, I do wonder what he'll be like on a pay-per-view stage rather than just being in the Performance Center. But yeah, as I said, I'm very much looking forward to the match. It's going to be a very good kind of David and Goliath powerhouse versus luchador kind of match. It's going to be one of the better matches of the night itself. Yeah, one I'm definitely looking forward to watching, and for me, I feel like it's a pretty safe bet going for Obafemi to retain the NXT North American Championship. And finally, in what I assume will be the main event, we have Lyra Valkyria defending the NXT Women's Championship against Roxanne Perez. The more edgiest side of Roxanne Perez has been more interesting, though I don't know how it's going to become like just going forward. I can't see her going up to the main roster anytime soon, and a loss here pretty much puts her back in the shuffle of like, or at least being the risk of being lost in the shuffle, if you will. But yeah, I can't see Lyra Valkyria losing the championship here. I also don't know who could take the championship from her. I don't think it'll be Lola Vice whenever she decides to cash in her breakout tournament win. I don't think she's going to get the win over Valkyria. If anything, like, I want to say Tiffany Stratton, but again, I'd rather have her come up to the main roster than anything else. As far as other women on the roster, nobody really springs to mind immediately for who's going to beat Valkyria, so I can see it being quite a long run overall. But yeah, it's something that, you know, I think this is only her like second or third title defense so far, so I think there's plenty of stock still left in this title run for Valkyria. And Roxanne Perez, she's a former champion herself and an NXT mainstay in my opinion, so a win over her is obviously always going to be good for the momentum of her championship reign. But yes, I think it's going to be, again, one of the better matches of the night. They both are very, very good in rings, so I expect a very good classic match. Whether it'll be main event, I don't know. Personally, I would have it go on last, but either way, do I feel like Tatum Paxley's going to make an appearance? Probably, but I don't think it's going to majorly affect the result of the match. If anything, Lyra might just attack Paxley or vice versa, but yeah, either way, for me, I'm pretty confident with saying that Valkyria is going to get the win here and retain the NXT Women's Championship. My predictions for NXT Vengeance Day this Sunday, do put in the comments down below what you think is going to happen on the event, moment, or just your match predictions, anything like that. And if feedback for me, it'd be much appreciated. And yeah, I think it's going to be one of the better NXT shows, though they are building to Stand and Deliver, which I feel like is always appropriately is like the main WrestleMania of NXT, which makes perfect sense. It's the day of WrestleMania. But yes, it's one I'm very looking forward to, especially Obafemi and Dragon Lee, Roxanne Perez and Lyra Valkyria and Trick Williams and Ilya Dragunov. But yes, if you like the video, if you like the video, then like the video. That doesn't make sense, but either way, yeah, comment down below anything you want to say, predictions, anything like that, feedback, and do follow the Instagram, the_wrestling_retrospective. I'll ask you to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much for watching.